Now, just a few days ago, it was reported that Ukraine had taken back control, had seized control of Irpin, a very, very crucial city. It's on the suburbs of Kyiv. But despite that, the shelling, the assaults continues. Russia again is trying, reportedly, to gain control of Irpin. Gaurav Sawant gets us this ground report from the city.
Shelling at Russian positions, and this is 21st century urban warfare that you witness. Now, this is a built-up area. The plumes of smoke that you see on the horizon there, that is where Russian troops are deployed, and that is where Russians are regrouping according to Ukrainian army, and they are systematically being targeted. This is an active battle zone where India today is on ground zero. There is a gun position not far from here. There are also grads deployed here, those multi-barrel rocket launchers. Now, they are targeting the Russian strongholds, and if you notice a large plume of smoke, and not just one concentration but multiple concentration, that is where this active firing is going on, the shelling is going on. That is where the Russians have regrouped to mount an operation against Ukraine. But the Ukrainian army isn't giving up without a fight. In fact, they're mounting swift counter-offensives to take on the Russian forces. What was said initially that the Russians are actually saying that they will reduce attacks on Kyiv, but on ground that is not what is happening. On ground there has been intense shelling of localities around Kyiv. Now, there are pitched battles that were being fought both at Irpin and Bucha. We are on ground zero. All these houses are completely abandoned. A lot of houses also bear signs of destruction that has been witnessed in this area. But actively that area is being targeted. You can hear these artillery rounds. You can hear the shelling that's happening in the backdrop, and almost non-stop. There are attacks and there are counter-attacks, and the artillery pieces, they keep moving because there are also weapon locating radars. That's what we've been told. So artillery pieces, and they're in direct firing mode at the Russian positions. So they fire and then they move to another direction, so that when the counter-attack comes, the artillery pieces have already moved by then. So this is the kind of warfare that's happening on ground on the outskirts of Kyiv. We're barely 30 kilometers from Ukraine's capital Kyiv, where this fighting is taking place. Day 35, day 36, if it was anticipated that there would be a reduction in shelling or firing or hostilities on ground, that clearly isn't the case. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Irpin, on the outskirts of Kyiv, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
And let's get you also this detailed ground report filed by Geeta Mohan from the besieged port city of Mariupol. India Today is the only channel to actually get you a first-hand account of what's happening in the city, where there's intense fighting right now between Russia and Ukraine. Mariupol, a city under siege. Once home to 500,000 people, it now resembles a ghost town. Russian forces have been pounding the city that could provide them the much-needed bridge between Donbass and Crimea, the two regions controlled by them in eastern Ukraine. India Today entered Mariupol to get the world's first independent account from inside the city. What India Today saw was a city in complete shambles. Residential areas, schools, hospitals, they've all suffered damage. Under siege, Mariupol is also running out of water and food supplies. With no electricity and connectivity, people of the city are living their worst nightmare.
Уехать невозможно, потому что нет денег, и мы не знаем куда.
So first goal is he have no money. He have money on bank account, but banks doesn't work. He cannot take cash, and that's why he afraid to go anywhere without money. And also things he's showing that there is no water, so they can even wash themselves.
So that's why he's showing his hands, that there's no water to...
Yes, he said all of people now in city have such a hands because there's no water to clean yourself. They're bringing water, so you can see.
Humanitarian aid is finding it difficult to get into the city and reach the needy. With many roads inaccessible due to mines and burnt-out military equipment.
Боялись буквально выезжать отсюда, а сейчас, по сути, и ехать особо некуда даже, если вдуматься.
So they were afraid to escape of the city because they didn't have information. They didn't know where is danger or where is not. So they were afraid to get to a place where the place worse than here. So that's why they decided to be here. And now, for the moment, they suppose that to stay here is also more safe than to go somewhere. It's because they don't have information.
While the living are suffering, the dead are denied basic dignity. Graveyards are inaccessible and people are burying their departed loved ones in their neighborhoods itself.
A city under siege where people have not been able to escape. Loss of lives innumerable. So much so that the heartbreaking story of graves being dug for their loved ones in the very same colony where they're living, just beside the building which houses them, people are now burying their loved ones. That's how difficult life here in Mariupol is for people who either decided to stay back or have not managed to flee the city of Mariupol.
Many parts of the port city are now under Russian control. Mariupol is where Ukraine's Azov battalion is giving Russians a tough fight.
It's a Ukrainian military truck that was destroyed by our artillery 16 March at night. Ukrainian soldiers drop the Vinnytsia and go to the Azovstal.
Right. So how much of the Mariupol area is now under Russian control?
At 60-70% of Mariupol now at control of military of Donetsk People Republic and Russian forces.
A city under siege. 2 days ago, President Zelensky admitted that there is no way to keep control of Mariupol. Today, Mariupol is maximum under Russian control. President Zelensky had wanted jets and tanks from the West, from NATO. But now, Russia put all its force to ensure that this critical city comes under their control. There were 4 lakh people when the entire operation from the Russian side began on the 24th of February, and now there are less than 1 lakh people. The state of affairs of people living, who continue to live in Mariupol, is absolutely in a very, very bad shape. Their life destroyed, and the city will take a long time to be rebuilt. With journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India.